Hey guys, so today I want to start a new series of videos on this channel. It's going to be bite-sized videos talking about one essential topic in PvP for each video. So the first one I chose is openings, and the way I want to do these videos is I want to also feature a specific map in War of Divisions for each topic. So the first map I chose is Castle Exterior. This should be a very familiar map to a lot of people. It has shown up a couple of times in PvP, both in arena and guild battle. This is how it looks top view. And I consider this a small map, 13 by 13 square. And the reason I consider this a small map has more to do with the number of rounds before engagement begins. And on this particular map, you can expect many units to be able to engage on the very first round of the match. So the attack arrangement for this map is normal as opposed to reversed. What I mean by that is the top to bottom arrangement of the team when placed on the map coincides with the left to right arrangement of your teams in your formation tab. So the defense arrangement is also normal as opposed to reversed. That means that the slot 1 unit on your formation will be lined up with the slot 1 unit on the defense formation, and so on. The topography of this map is fairly simple. These are your height 0 squares. These are your height 1 squares. And on the middle you have height 2. What that means is that when you're standing here, you will either need your skill to be range height 2 or area height 2. You can also use a skill that has range height 1, area height 1, but I'll talk about the nuances of that in a separate video. So what's interesting about this map is since most units have a movement speed of 3, if my unit moves forward by 3 spaces, and the unit across moves by 3 spaces as well, then essentially there is only 4 spaces in between the two units. That means that if you're moving first, you can force the unit in front of you to attack you in many cases. So that means that you can shut down things like Bells or Brave Presence from Warrior of Light, and essentially making him like a non-tank. Or things like courage skills like Unyielding Stance from Tifa. So in games like chess, that's called Zugzwang, which in German means compulsion to move. So we're forcing the opponent to be at a disadvantage because we're forcing them to attack us instead of using their buffs. So imagine a strategy where you have a Ketone here and a Warrior of Light in front of her. Since Ketone has very high agi, she can move forward, and if Warrior of Light has a Shifting Strike turned on, then he'll be forced to attack Ketone instead of using Brave Presence on that turn, and then he is essentially not tanking for that team. So my other teammates can just have free reign on the other 2 units. And if you're using Mastery, then probably you deserve that. So for general tips, for faster units, you want to take advantage of your agi and starve your opponent of important buffs. For slower units, you'll maybe want to turn off your range 4+ skills. So take a look at your skills and maybe try and consider turning off those. So I had to move my face here. So one thing to remember is that when you have opposing units with the same agi, the attacking unit goes first. So you can use that to your advantage. If you pretty much know that you have the same units, the same agi, then you can be confident that your unit will go first and be able to take advantage of this. So another thing that's interesting in this map is it's very easy to buff your teammates. There's no range height differences here, and it's only 3 squares away from your teammate. So someone who is on slot 1 can move 3 spaces to slot 2 and use a range 1 buff to buff that unit. So some examples of how you can use that is maybe the Rob TMR, Glinting Armor, Rain TMR also with this kind of range. These are pretty good. And then of course you have the illusion buff that gives additional evasion to your teammate, and aimfire that gives additional attack, range attack to your teammate. Other examples of the same range is Eldest TMR, which is actually good. I found this to be good with when I'm trying to control the behavior of Ketone, and also give her some extra HP for things like Drain Force, right? And also don't forget 9S TMR, which gives, like, I think it's immunity to things like sleep, confusion, and I think charm. So that's pretty good as well. So imagine if you have a team, a good opening would be like a samurai like Blinkstern here, and buffing Venera first turn with illusion, and then Venera wreaking havoc there, and also of course Helena, who's always ready to just demolish teams, right? So general tips for that is, in guild battle, always scout, of course, and in arena, well, you pretty much know the arrangement of your opponents, so pay attention to the placement of your units. Maybe not everyone in the opposing team is high agi, so place your buffer unit in line with those slower units that they have. So that's to make sure that your buffer unit gets to use the buff. And another is, don't sleep on TMRs with buffs. You can use this to influence the opening of your team in creative ways, like it's in very useful ways, and also give useful buffs to your teammates. So that's it for this video, guys. I wanted this to be short and simple, and I didn't want to put like sample battles here that would just make it longer. In the next video, I will discuss the new guild battle map that's coming up, and I think that would be a good map to discuss things like range and height differences in a map. So that's it, guys, and thanks for watching, and see you next time.